Welcome to another edition of the PHNX Tailgate. We're here live in the studio. We got Bo Brock, Johnny Venerable, Shane Diefenbach, and I am Saul Bookman. Hey, DJ, spin that shit. Saul Bookman, Marcos Deniza Padre, Southbound Community College Cougar, and best of all, a Wildcat from the University of Arizona.
Johnny Venerable, Maricopa, Arizona. We have a Denny's and an IHOP.
Bo Brock, the Harvard of Maricopa County, Scottsdale Community College, Fighting Artichokes.
Shane Diefenbach, North Scottsdale Circus School of Arizona. Honk, honk.
All right. Well, that honk honk gets me every
It's
time.
it's a good one. It's a good honk honk.
There's a lot of teams out there yesterday that went honk honk, by the way.
Yep.
The Devils got honked.
Yeah, but we expected that, or at least I did. Anthony Totri did not. Let's start off with the teams that we expected to win and completely fell on their face. We're going to go ahead and start with, because I'm an alma mater of my favorite K-State Wildcats. EMA, baby, going out into Norman. Yeah, EMA, that means every man a Wildcat.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
So they go out to Norman. They absolutely destroy Oklahoma.
Yeah.
In Norman.
Yep.
I mean, listen, Adrian Martinez.
Yeah.
We got to start with him because he went through the ringer at Nebraska for several years. It feels like he's been in college football for like a decade.
It does.
He goes out and he leads this K-State team after only putting up 10 points last week against Tulane.
Yeah.
They come out and they just absolutely dominated that game from start to finish, capped off by a series of plays, this obviously being one of them. We're going to roll the video at some point. Yeah, that's
We talking about the 3rd and 16
Yeah,
here?
the 3rd and 16 play was phenomenal.
Inbounds, jackass.
Listen, I love Wildcats as much as anybody, but I'm not going there.
Adrian Martinez will be an NFL
There's a
quarterback.
reason why Adrian Martinez has been in college football for a decade. It's because he's not good enough to be
Russell
in the
Wilson
NFL.
added transfer schools. I'm just saying, I think this could be.
Just
Well,
spit
I don't
Russell
mind-
Wilson's
I don't-
face.
I don't mind you saying that he's going to be an NFL quarterback,
Yeah.
but saying he's going to have a successful career, I can't.
Well, he'll be hanging around the NFL for the next 5 to 7 years. That's what I mean by
He's going
success.
to be like Chase. What's
Chad
his name?
Henne, just
Chase
somebody
Daniel?
like
Chase
a
Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
all
think
right.
so.
All right.
Here's what I will say about it.
He
Go
can't
ahead.
throw.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. We'll just move off of him for a
That's a
second.
big
Let's
part
focus.
of the quarterback
Let's
position.
focus on Oklahoma. Quiet down. Let's focus on Oklahoma. Brett Venables. I think we're now starting to see a little bit fraudulent in the sense that, what happened when the last coach left this organization, this university, offensive minded. Now you're trying to get these young recruits that he didn't bring in, and they're trying to mesh well, and he can't stop anybody. Brett Venables said at the post-game press conference yesterday they didn't do anything well defensively. It's an offensive sport, and their offense was fine yesterday. But again, you're riding Lincoln Riley's coattails. Brett Venables, in my opinion, is a future 7-5 coach.
Okay, can we say something real quick?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say this because I don't like all the Lincoln Riley love that you're trying to throw out right now. 2012, 2014, 2020, all losses by Oklahoma at home by K-State. So it's not just a Brett Venables thing.
Yeah.
He's still got to get his guys in there because obviously he's a defensive coach. But you're going to take a few bumps. The more important thing, guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. K-State is in the driver's seat for the Big 12 championship. Let's go.
They got to get through Kansas first. Kansas is a wagon.
Who absolutely murdered Duke.
I like Kansas. They're just fun to watch.
Biggest fraud of the weekend, was it Oklahoma? Was it Arkansas losing at Texas A&M in Jerry World, or was it these Miami Hurricanes who absolutely
Mario.
got mollywopped at home to Middle Tennessee State?
What happened, Mario?
Just run all over the field. They lost 45-31 at home.
You know what's great about this? It is officially a winning streak for Middle Tennessee State against the University of Miami. They've won the last 3 games against them, dating back to the 40s or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's so weird. This game was awesome. I had so much fun watching this game. Middle Tennessee State, they ran all over them. They couldn't do anything to stop them.
Their quarterback prospect, Van Dyke, benched in this game after another, just couldn't move the ball, couldn't hold on to the football. How many turnovers did they have to start?
Yeah.
It was just a brutal performance offensively and isn't that Cristobal's bread and butter?
Yeah, but for the people that were showing love to this team that they were going to contend in the ACC, like he needs another offseason of recruiting. Remember how late he was added to this program?
Yeah.
It was like super late in the offseason. These are not his players. I'm not making excuses for Mario, but I do think you're going to get 9 to 10 win seasons. It's just not going to be this year. Very similar, I think, what we're going to see with Brian Kelly at LSU. These new coaches, high-profile guys, transition years like this. Yeah, I'd be pissed off if I was like a senior at Miami and like this was like my last season, but this doesn't mean anything. I'm happy for Middle Tennessee, but Miami has no business being ranked.
I've never seen that many big plays in one game before.
Yeah.
They had a 98-yarder, they had a 60-plus yarder, they had a 70-plus yarder, I think they had an 80-plus yarder. I mean, they were just it was just a track meet.
Speaking of track meet, the best, one of my favorite celebrations ever when you score a touchdown is the run through the finish line. It's one of the greatest
Byron
things.
Murphy
Need to
needs
be
to
used
learn that
more.
one. Hold on to the football a little bit longer. Get
Boy,
through
had he done this,
Get into the paint.
and the ball would have been that way, and we would have had a whole Utah-Oregon situation there.
The biggest fraud yesterday was Texas. Everybody thought Texas was back after
No.
their close moral victory.
Why do
against
people think
Alabama.
that? This happens every year. Nobody should think that.
Well, no, but I just mean like, can we stop with the Texas is back until they're actually back and they complete like a regular season of notes? They can win 9 to 12 games. I'm just, to me, losing at Texas Tech, that's not embarrassing. It's a conference rivalry.
Yeah.
And Texas Tech's, they're feisty offensively,
Texas
but like,
Tech is good.
I don't want to hear about Steve Sarkisian anymore. He's never accomplished anything.
Fair enough.
Sly in the chat saying, how about Michigan, though? They didn't cover, so I don't want to hear anything about Michigan.
He's always talking about Harbaugh.
always-
He wants him to be the next Cardinals coach.
Oh, God.
Another L for Florida is they were highly ranked. Obviously, they fall at the end of the game to Utah week 1. Another loss last night.
Now Florida beat Utah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. To hold on against Utah
Yeah.
and then to lose back-to-back weeks. I mean, who's the best team in that state right now? Once proud, state as far as college football goes. Is it FSU right now? And Mike Norvell?
No, I would still say it's Florida, just
Really?
by a smidge. Yeah, because I mean, listen, at least they beat a ranked opponent this year. That's the only takeaway that I have from the state of Florida. That's it.
UCF's a fun watch, I think. They're not
Stop
terrible.
it.
Always trying to shit on the lower tier schools. We just saw one destroy
I know.
a Power 5
It's-
school.
It's fine. No one's on Georgia's level. Not even Alabama this year. They're clearly the number 1 team in the country. Every other team right now, Ohio State, these other contenders have had close games. And I'm not saying you can't have a close game during the regular season, but like Georgia, if you watch just the second and third and fourth quarter for them when they're blowing out these teams, and they haven't been really challenged yet. They played Kent State, and they put a bunch of backups in the second half. They are so gifted everywhere. They're so deep at every position. It just feels like inevitable that they're going to win the national championship again. I can't imagine them, outside of major injury, not at least being in the national championship
More
game.
erratic, Kanye West or App State?
Oh, my God, it's App State. Dude, what are we doing? James Madison, the GOAT.
Jeez.
28-3. They Patriots that game.
I mean,
The
James
Dukes.
Madison should be ranked.
Yeah.
They're a good team. Like they're undefeated. Like I
Did
again,
you just hear what you said?
They're always in the FCS, like, in the semifinals or championship game.
they're a solid program.
What would they do to ASU right now?
I don't know.
It'd be a close game.
Yeah, it
It'd
would
be
be.
a close game.
Yeah.
Especially after, I mean, listen, I'm not going to bag on ASU as much as I would love to right now. Let's get to ASU. Let's just go ahead and get to it. You guys fraudulently just bypassed U of A last week, so fuck you guys. But ASU,
No, we gave them.
We
gave
talked
them their
about it.
flowers.
Yeah.
for like 2 seconds, and then you guys talked about ASU for like 10 minutes.
Well, Shane.
Well, I mean, they lost to Eastern
and then
Michigan.
Herm got fired last Sunday, too. So there's a lot going on with them.
Excuses.
I gave you all the love on that show. I don't know what you're talking about. I did.
I have no memory of that.
IPA, Mike Luke.
ASU comes out, and
Did they?
they just absolutely. I mean, listen. After that first drive, you could ask Anthony Totri. I was like, oh, this is not.
Did
gonna be
Totri
good.
pick them to win?
Yes. Yes. The most homer pick ever. Listen, I could be as optimistic as the next guy, but knowing the situation, knowing the kind of coach that you have coming in, knowing what was going on in that program, and knowing the lack of talent you have compared to Utah, more importantly, and knowing that Utah knows that you just replaced your coach, you might be hyped up for this game, which makes them hyped up for the game. They weren't going to come in flat. I just didn't see a scenario where this was going to be a close game. Utah's just too methodical, too good. And that's exactly what happened last night.
Yeah, they first of all, everyone was speculating on Twitter that Tavion Thomas was suspended, was injured. He ended up playing in the third quarter, but briefly. just don't think they needed him. I don't think they wanted to risk anything. That's why we didn't see much of Tavion Thomas. There might be something that has come out. I haven't seen anything yet, but it was just flat. I mean, Emory Jones didn't look good. But again, what do you expect when you replace your coach mid-season? The coach gives up practice off on Monday, and you have 3 days of practice throughout the entire week to game plan. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a walkthrough on Friday. There's no cohesion, and it showed last night. Plus, they were down their 3 top defensive backs. They started a freshman, Isaiah Johnson, who played great last night, but Tamarcus Davis was getting picked on all night. Cam Rising's too good, and when you give up 230 yards to a MAC running back, I mean, you're going to get ran over by Utah as well.
Guys, like, I'm okay with the fact that Utah was able to move the ball. Like, I'm okay with that because Utah's a good team. What I'm not okay with is on the first drive, Emory Jones gets up to the line of scrimmage. He sees the blitz coming and still doesn't get rid of the ball. Yeah. He even calls out, the blitz is coming from this side, and he still gets sacked. I'm like, bro, what are we doing? 2 times in a row. Like, that's my thing. It's like, it's one thing if you're just not aware where the blitz is coming from, you get caught blindsided, cool. But he absolutely knew, which should make you feel comfortable that he knew exactly where the pressure was coming from, except for the fact that he didn't know where to go with the ball when the pressure was coming from. I don't give a fuck if he just sailed it out of bounds. Get the ball out of your hands and don't take those kind of brutal hits, because some of those hits were crucial.
Yeah. The biggest thing, I mean, we talked about this at length, obviously, last night in the post-game show, but we had been asking as ASU fans for more Emory Jones to get chances to throw the ball. But then they threw 3 straight passes on the first drive, and we were like, hold on, whoa, no, don't do that. Like, you can't get away from the run game as much when you have one of the best running backs in college football, rushing yards-wise, and the leader in rushing in the Pac-12. Like, you can't do that. So, I don't know. You just need to find the balance. Again, getting accustomed to it. A short week against a ranked opponent. It's probably not going to be pretty against USC as well.
I'm going through their schedule right now. Will they be favored in any game the rest of the year? Even
Colorado, 100%.
At Colorado, you think they'll be favored?
Yes.
Because there's a good chance, potentially 3-game losing streak going into that
Colorado
game.
is not.
Colorado might be the worst team in college football.
I thought U of A was bad last year, and they were historically bad. Colorado's almost just as bad, and they have no like gimmies on their.
They don't know what to do at quarterback. They're not very good.
Can we get to a couple things first? Can we pour one out for the interim coach bump? Like, that's dead. It's not happening anymore. Like, we used to get it, unless it's like Coach Orgeron. If it's Coach O coming in and he's your interim coach, maybe you might get that boost. But other than that, like, we've seen now, interim coaches come out and get blown out, uninspired football. I think Arizona State had a big opportunity to show that they care, that they
I don't
play
think
inspired football. It was uninspiring.
I don't think it was uninspired. I think that Utah is just that much better.
I don't think it's uninspiring. I think it was just boring. Like, what they put their game plan together, they just don't do anything well. So you're just bored.
But this also isn't the NFL. Like, the NFL interim coaches, it works better. College football, it does at good programs when you have really talented players. ASU has a couple guys that are really good at football.
No, you guys were saying this was a talented roster.
It is. But when you have 3 days to turn it around.
Where are the big plays on both sides of the ball? Like, they don't exist.
They had an interception last night.
Okay.
Let's move on to another Arizona team that was kind of disappointing yesterday as well. Not as disappointing, but disappointing nonetheless. My Arizona Wildcats. They looked like they were in control of that game. They were up by 14 at one point. It looked like, okay, this is going to be a nice, easy win. And then the wheels just kind of came off after halftime. They went up 24-21 at the half, and then basically only scored 7 points the rest of the game. Meanwhile, the Cal Golden Bears scored 28 in the second half and win 49-31. The thing about Arizona right now is offensively, they're able to do a lot of things, which is way more versatile than they were last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Defensively, they got more talent. However, they just do not have the dudes up front to be able to stop the run for shit. And that was clear because Ott ran for like 274 yards yesterday. Yep. The second play from scrimmage, he reels off a 73-yard touchdown drive or run. And so I don't know what to think about these Wildcats.
Well, you can only get so far with heart and moxie, and you just hit the best point that I was going to make is they just don't have the hogs up front. They can't control the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball, and so that makes their margin for error very small. Like, they have to play perfect football in a lot of instances, and I did think up 14-0, okay, can they grind this win out? But then you get the big explosive plays from Cal, a Cal team, by the way, That's 3-1. It's not an upper echelon Pac-12 team, but it's a feisty team.
They almost beat Notre Dame.
They almost beat Notre Dame. So I know U of A fans, yourself included, we don't want to talk about moral victories this year, but I think about where this team was last year. Think about where ASU is right now. Their program is trending up. They get Colorado, as we just talked about. They're going to be 3-2, and then can they scrap together 2 more wins to potentially become bowl eligible? That's what we have to find out. Now, did last night's loss, that 14-point swing, affect their bowl chances? Maybe, but I do think there's a gauntlet of Oregon, Washington, USC, and Utah that U of A faces here after Colorado. Like, we don't want the season to be lost and for guys to get dejected there. So even playing these close games, I think, is good for the development of the program.
You got to win every other game besides those 4.
I also wouldn't be completely blown away if they win one of those games.
True. If they were going to win any one of those games, to me, it would be Oregon at home.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And that's what your expectation has to be. It's not be a bowl team after one of the worst rosters that we've seen in Tucson in a long time. I mean, you've got a relatively new coaching staff.
I think this season's already a win as long as you don't explode.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
that.
a team that's competitive, that's playing, and it's holding leads. But Jedd Fisch is in his second season as a quarterback coach at the NFL level. Like, he's a head coach for the first time. You're going to have to take your lumps with your coaching staff and a young roster. And but you can find wins watching this team week in and week out.
Yeah. Well, they've got talent, for sure.
Yeah.
What's impressive to me, though, is the depth of the Pac-12 this year. Like, I'm not saying there's a bunch of contenders,
there's
but
no elite.
You don't run over Stanford anymore. You don't run over Cal anymore. Like, they're both okay teams. Washington is Michael Penix Jr. is him. That team is good. Like,
Oregon State is solid.
Oregon State's very good.
I like, and people were on Twitter yesterday talking about how like one of the assistant coaches for USC had said we keep receipts or whatever because I guess allegedly a lot of people thought they were going to lose to Oregon State or whatever. Like, Oregon State is not a powerhouse. However, Oregon State should have been ranked. They've had a good season.
Yep.
They have one of the best defenses in the country. You saw that by the score last night, 17-10. Like,
they scored. They took the lead with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah. Oregon State is legit, and they need that respect because they deserve it.
Can we talk about? Go ahead.
Well, Oregon and Wazoo was one of the best games of the weekend, where Oregon puts up 29 points in the fourth quarter to win that game.
It's the Bo Nix effect, man.
Can we
He's
talk
good
about
sometimes.
Is there OC for the Ducks? What's it? Chaparral product?
Dillingham.
Is he a legit candidate for ASU?
People throw his name out there. He's my number one guy.
Easy connecting the dots.
He's by far my number one guy.
Okay.
He has experience. I talked about this again last night, so I don't want to cover it again, but I like him a lot.
Okay.
So USC is having the kind of season. We just talked about Oregon State, 17-14. The Trojans get the W. I know people don't want to hear about the Trojans right now, but Lincoln Riley, remember when Urban Meyer got to Ohio State and it wasn't his players? And he went undefeated that first year, and they were bowl ineligible. You remember that season? That's the kind of season that Lincoln Riley is having right now. They're not bowl ineligible, but he's winning with somebody.
Players, he brought his quarterback.
All right, well, but for the most of that roster is not his, and yet they're winning.
It was like transfer portal all offseason long.
A win is a win, and I'm not a Trojan homer, but I like. Let's be honest. USC's been a sleeping giant for many, many years, and now they have a top, in my opinion, 5 to 7 college football coach. Like, get used to it. They are going to be a premium contender. It doesn't matter if they only beat Oregon State by 3. It's his first year. I saw people just scorching them on Twitter yesterday. They can't put up 50 points every game. We just talked about it. The Pac-12, very competent. This so much reminds me of Urban Meyer's first year at Ohio State before they really got rolling. They won that national championship with Zeke and company. Like, USC, I will make a prediction right now. Next year, not this year, next year they will be in the college football playoff.
We talked to Cliff Kingsbury this week, and Lincoln Riley question came up about how he can develop quarterbacks, how is he so successful at doing that. But just in that conversation, his answer, he called Caleb Williams a top 5 player prospect in the draft whenever he's eligible.
You look at what.
And I trust Cliff. There's things you can say.
Look at what Jalen Hurts is doing in the NFL with 1 year with Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
Like, he is the new quarterback whisperer of college football. I would absolutely sign up for my team, wherever you root for, if you're not a Cardinal fan, drafting a quarterback that's been mentored by Lincoln Riley, because say what you want, like, Baker Mayfield really is the only blemish, and he's been serviceable. He had no business going first overall, but Kyler and Jalen, they are unbelievable quarterbacks.
Manziel.
Case Keenum.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on.
Wait.
Case
Good.
Keenum was elite in
One of these
college.
things is- one
At
of these
Houston,
things is not like the
Manziel
other.
off the field had some demons. Yeah.
Sure. In college, cool. We're talking about the NFL though too. It's
No, those were
insane.
jokes, I think.
Yeah.
Johnny
Minneapolis
Manziel,
Miracle, my
Johnny
guy.
Manziel, elite
That's
off
Case
the field.
Keenum.
All right.
Terrible.
Elite speed off the field.
The last thing, and I'm selfishly gonna be on my
sometimes
own
you gotta be.
alum bandwagon here, but I will say there's been a new field in high school that was unveiled this past week, and to me, it's the best field I've seen at a high school level across the board. Of course, it's my Marcos Deniza Padres, but look at that field. Look at the sidelines, how crisp and clean this is. To me, the sidelines is what separates that from a lot of other places. I thought it was nice.
It looks a lot like Notre Dame Preps football field as well.
There you go.
Yeah, really nice.
Again, like shout out to my alma mater there. Go Padres.
You guys see Kyler was hanging out at Chandler Saguaro? Kyler Murray. I mean, hanging out. He took a picture with my niece on Friday.
I thought he was playing video games. That's what Twitter told me.
It just shows over and over that this guy just loves football. He just goes out.
And his teammates
He
too.
was,
Byron,
he was at the backyard brawl with his teammate James Conner. He was supporting Byron Murphy on Friday as Saguaro lost a tough one against Chandler. Like Kyler Murray continues to kind of connect with this community, and it's awesome to see.
Or at least he's trying. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There were two stars with awesome hair there. Him and David Rodas, our intern. He was also at the Chandler game. Great hair.
Before we move on, this is the Tailgate presented by DraftKings. I kind of missed that at the beginning, but there you go, DraftKings. By the way, speaking of DraftKings, a lot of cool things going on with them. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. And if that's not enough, you can boost your winnings on DraftKings by a stepped-up same-game parlays. Right now, for every leg you add, you can boost your winnings up to 100% with payouts bigger than ever. Why bet anywhere else? Again, that's DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code PHNX. That's promo code PHNX on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And also, we had a phenomenal time yesterday for those who attended for the ASU tailgate at Four Peaks. It was phenomenal. The beers were flowing. The Jenga was flowing.
The vibes were effervescent.
Vibes were absolutely unreal. Shane's actually going to put together a video to kind of highlight some of the things that happened yesterday. But it was a great time by all. And then we all took these cool go-karts out to the stadium and got to sit together and watch the game. So shout out to everybody who came out and had such a great time. We had such great feedback about it. A lot of people had fun. That was a tremendous event. And so we're going to be continuing to do that at Four Peaks because those are our guys and we love them to death. And so, again, if you partake in some Four Peaks, make sure you're 21 and over and enjoy responsibly.
Joy Bucks Wild, the perfect morning beer, I will tell
And
you.
then we
I
got the
disagree
pumpkin porter, too.
I'm
That's
all
what
over
I've been-
this.
Pumpkin porter cheesecake yesterday?
Yeah.
My God.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
As Sean said, it wasn't good. It was incredible.
Yes. Charles Woodall Pike was there, and he said the Jenga game broke physics.
It did.
Dude, this thing, the tower got so high that I was like, how is this even?
This isn't a feat.
How's it still even up?
But Totri
Egon,
couldn't
let's have
put
a
the
day.
block on the top. he was so close. Johnny wouldn't be able to either. Get the block on the top of the. No, see, I'm not kidding.
You put him on his shoulders.
It's not even a dig at.
I'm leaving.
It's not even a dig at Totri's height.
I want to leave right now.
Totri had heels on, and he still couldn't put it
Yeah.
on. I'm not even kidding you. He was wearing heels.
My feet can't touch the floor right now. Let's be honest. We're just hanging
Johnny,
out
let's
here.
have a
That's
day.
That's why he's behind the table.
That's right. Strategically placed. Let's have
go.
a day, Egon. Let's get this W. We're going to be talking about LA Rams.
I did not
today.
do a shoey because it wasn't mentioned to me yesterday, as I said. So
What's a shoey?
it's when you pour beer into a shoe and drink it.
Yeah.
Feels like you should do it right now with your New Balance.
We'll be doing some shot skis today if you want to
Yeah.
come out to the
Oh,
Cardinals.
I'll tell you what,
tailgate.
the Lola's
We're
gonna
heading
get
over-
weird.
Yo, the Lola's going to be off the chain today. If you've been there before, forget what you saw because this is going to be unlike anything we've ever done before.
I'm gonna start freaking.
Okay.
That's
All right
interesting.
then.
All right.
All right, interesting. All right, well, let's move on to the next segment. Survey says cerveza. And our producer guru in the back, Emma, is now taking over. Emma, what you got?
All right, you guys. So here's the game. Each of you guys sent me a embarrassing moment about yourself or embarrassing fact. No one knows each other's embarrassing moments. The trick is that you have to reveal, like you can't reveal that it's yours. You have to play into it.
Okay.
Whoever gets unnoticed wins. Those who get exposed loses, obviously. Winners pick the punishment for the losers? In chat, feel free to chime in.
There are punishments. Even getting this exposed is not punishment. If
Jesus, I
not,
know,
Well,
right?
well, let's come up with a punishment before we start the game.
So what's your punishment?
It's punishment.
I don't know. I didn't know there was a punishment, so I didn't think about it.
we'll have to do it for next tailgate show. We'll have a punishment.
Yeah, we'll
for,
come up with a punishment
We'll be
for that,
dressed
for
in
sure.
something.
Speaking of
Somebody will
dressing
wear a
something,
costume.
where the fuck are your football pants?
I have to go to the Lola after this,
You
and I'm
said you'd
trying.
be wearing them every tailgate show.
Well,
You changed last time, Johnny.
You done switched up on us.
I will wear them next weekend. I
Consistency is
apologize.
key in this company.
I was gonna go with road games, but yeah, we'll get
3
our
weeks
pants
in.
dirty. We're undefeated with the pants, by the way. Cardinals are.
Oh,
No, Sly. No.
Not happening. Okay.
It's still here.
No, dude, we can't go through this
Get
again.
some help, man.
We need, like,
Get some help.
Gene Wilder over here needs to go. Like, I'm so done with Willy Wonka. Like,
Yeah.
it's got to be done. Okay, let's go, Emma.
All right, so the first one. This person said, I once clotheslined myself in front of Hoops legend Grant Hill. Who is it?
it's gotta be Saul.
I would say Saul.
Yeah.
Interesting. I actually think it's Bo.
So do we no
So
we don't
is that your final answer?
well we don't reveal yet
Yeah,
because
I'm
then
not
it's
gonna
Yeah,
reveal
because
it.
then it'll be elimination.
When
and
would
then
I have put myself in front of Grant Hill?
When the fuck would I have put myself?
That
in
sounds
front of
like
Grant Hill?
that sounds like either Saul or Bo.
So what's the final answer from the group?
Saul.
all.
Yeah.
Saul? Okay. Second one. I was at a basketball tournament for charity, and I threw up so much it filled 2 Gatorade bottles.
Oh my god.
Wait, you say
That's
that?
Shane.
Shane.
Filled
That's
2
Shane.
Gatorade bottles?
Yeah.
That's Shane.
Yes.
That's gotta be Shane.
That is foul.
That sounds
whoever
like,
it
that
is.
sounds like Johnny.
You could, whoever it was couldn't find a trash can.
Yeah.
That sounds like Johnny.
Why would you be throwing up? Why would you be throwing up a Gatorade bottle?
Now hold on.
I don't know, Johnny. Why would you?
Did you play hoops? We gotta start. We gotta start interrogating people.
I did play basketball when I was younger, but not in high school. Was this? This wasn't in high school though. I don't think, right?
I don't know.
We'll have to see.
All right.
I don't know.
All right,
So what's final answer?
I think it's Shane.
Shane.
Shane? Okay.
I'm gonna go. Johnny.
I'm gonna go with. I already went with Saul. I'll go with Shane.
Okay.
All
This one. Okay. Broke wind in the middle of a college biology
That's Johnny,
class.
just because of the phrasing.
Wait.
It has to
Just
be
wait.
fucking Johnny.
Okay. Broke wind in the middle of a college biology class. Sounded like a tuba, and the teacher had to stop the class.
Okay.
So when you did that, Johnny,
That's gotta be Johnny.
I don't think anybody else says broke wind.
Yeah, I'm going with Johnny.
He hasn't said a thing.
So Johnny's your final
what was your
answer?
what
I'll
was
go
your
with
major?
I'll go with Bo. Don't talk to me. No one talk. I'm a broadcast journalism major, motherfuckers. That's why
Is
you
that
get
part
this
of your
pro-
prereqs
That's
or
why
what?
you get this product every day. PHNX.
Gotta be Johnny.
Johnny.
Bo.
final
My
answer.
answer's Bo.
Okay. This person. When I was in 4th grade, we moved to a new house and I started at a new school. I got invited to a pool party and was in between swimsuits. So my mother made me wear basketball shorts and a jog strap underneath. When I was using the restroom at the party, some of
Oh
the
my
kids
God.
saw it, and from then on out, people called me Jog Strap Boy.
Dude, that goes so hard.
Okay.
Wait, jockstrap boy?
Jockstrap boy.
Yeah.
I'm going with jockstrap boy. That is
You
jockstrap
think I
boy.
would have that?
That's
Bo.
Bo.
Okay.
That's Bo.
Yeah, that's Bo.
That's Bo.
Final
That's an
answer.
elaborate story.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's good stuff, man.
All right, let's unveil them.
Did we all get each other right?
No. So,
Oh.
Shane, you were the one that
Yeah,
lost. Shane's was the basketball tournament throwing up.
Yes, that's the one I said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Shane, you're the only one that lost.
Everyone else, we didn't get anyone else right?
All right, just unveil what the rest of them
Who
are.
had the tuba fart in class?
Dude, it was so fucking. So I'm at
You were
South.
jockstrap boy?
So I'm at South Mountain Community College, right? And you know the worst thing is like you can always feel something coming on, right? This time, I was good. I had no idea anything was about to happen. All I did was go like this to move my seat, and it just fucking echoed across the room.
Oh my God.
Like, and everybody like stopped, and I had my guy. His last name was actually Booker, and so we were like the books in the back. And I was like, damn, man, what the hell? And he was like, don't even try, man. Everybody knows it was you. And I was like, damn, man, it was so embarrassing. Anyway, we leave class. I go to another class. An hour later at South Mountain, they used to have this huge glass wall that was like where the athletes would hang out, like a room. But you could walk by it and you could hear people talking. And I walked by that room and somebody that was on the team was in there telling everybody about what had happened. And then he goes, there he is. And everybody just looked and laughed at me. It was like the most embarrassing day I've ever had in my life.
JSB over here. Jockstrap boy.
Dude, that is such a good
I
name.
started in a new school and I got invited to this pool party and I'm like, where's my swimsuit? My mom's like, oh, we don't have a new one for you. Like, we weren't poverty stricken or anything. I didn't have time to go get a new one.
Why didn't you just wear basketball shorts? Why'd you have to put the jock
She was like, wear a jock strap. I don't know, because she didn't want me like hanging it all out, I guess. And that in and of itself. So she's like, put this jock strap on. It was from T-ball, and wear these mesh shorts. And
So you're like a little kid.
yeah, I was in 4th grade, and so then we went to the water park, right? And I was probably dumping in the bathroom, and I put my pants down, and then there was just my big beige jock strap.
It was beige?
Yeah, it was a beige jock
And
strap.
somebody caught that?
And somebody saw it from the stall, and they're just like, John, is that you? And I'm like, yeah. And they saw the jock strap, and they started calling me jock strap boy. It didn't
Kids are
last
just
that long.
vicious.
That
Man.
goes so hard.
That's rough.
I'm using that so much.
Emma was bitching at me all weekend. She's like, get your story in. And I'm like, I'm trying to figure out the best one. So I didn't know how in depth to go. But
So, Bo, you were the Grant Hill.
Yeah, so I
got that right.
I was working a serving job and doing curbside, and Grant Hill pulls up, but I didn't see him until last second. So I'm bringing his food out, and there's a retractable awning because the sun was right in the restaurant's face, and I see it. I'm like, oh shit, that's Grant Hill, and then I just run right into the retractable awning,
damn.
and just have to like regather myself. I'm just like, oh, Grant Hill's seriously like, gotta keep your head up, man. And I was like, give him his food, and he dries off. And I hadn't even broken into
Not
sports
asking
media.
you, are you
I'm just
okay?
like, this is embarrassing, man. Just had to shake it off, and it was pretty wise words though from a legend.
Oh my goodness.
That's great.
That's awesome. All right, Shane.
Yeah, it was a sorority charity event, and that would have given it away. I feel like, because everyone knows I'm a little shithead. And I think I've told this story before, so maybe there was only one I could think of. Basically, it was a philanthropy, and it was a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. And we had just had a really big party that night, or the night before, and so I was hella hungover, but I was trying really hard, and I was like, and it was half court 3-on-3. I wasn't even running,
Jesus.
and so I was trying my damnedest, and we win the game. Like the first game, I think, and then I sit on the sidelines, and there's nowhere, and like I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to throw up, and so I get a Gatorade bottle, I start throwing up, and then I was like, oh, it's full, and I got another one and threw up half of that, yeah, and everybody saw it was
How
great.
accurate were you though? Was there a
Yeah.
lot?
Oh no spillage.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
impressive.
I got a
That
really
is
small
impressive.
mouth.
Just baby birded it into a.
Yeah,
You didn't have to show it.
Yeah,
that you
dude.
was smart.
Because-
let me see.
watch, look, it blows people's mind when I show them. It's fucking tiny, a little baby mouth.
I can fit my fist in my
I thought you were a
mouth.
grower
brother,
with your
no,
mouth.
I'm not gonna
No,
do
it's
that.
just-
I don't like where this segment's gone.
All right,
All right.
jockstrap boy.
All right, let's move on to tap that app. Shane, underdog, let's go, baby.
Well, it's where you should be going when you're trying to place your higher or lower bets. Underdog fantasy. It's one of my favorite things to do. For baseball was good, but it's like that meme when you're done playing with a toy, like in Toy Story with Woody. I'm done playing with you, but I'm dropping the MLB and I'm picking up the NFL. Higher or lowers, the best place to get these props, and you can bet on your favorite or least favorite players. I love taking Carson Wentz over interceptions, and I love taking Kirk Cousins and primetime higher interceptions. It's just a place to go. Plus, you can do daily fantasy drafts. We've done that before. You can do it with your friends or do it with a bunch of random people to be pooled into to win a good amount of money. There's just a lot of ways to do it, but with the pick'em games, you can win up to 20 times your money in just one night. I know Derek Montilla won $1,000 on there. He threw $50 and won $1,000 just taking over under on pitch totals. So it's a really good time. Plus, like, I don't know, if you were to take a higher on anybody on the Cardinals today, who would you take?
Well, it gives away my prop.
Yeah. Let's get into props, locks, and drops then.
Okay.
Shall we?
Okay. Well, right now, download the Underdog Fantasy app, search in the App Store, or click the link in the show notes. Sign up with that promo code PHNX, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code PHNX, and get in on the action today.
Let's make some people some money today.
Let's do it.
Let's start off with our props. As you know, this is Prop Lock and Drop It. We pick our props that we like. Then we do our locks, and then we do our drops. So props, starting with you, Bo.
All right, props that I like, and I'm going to stick with the Cardinals game because I think it's Pretty easy one. Am I going to steal Greg Dortch over on receiving yards?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go with it's lower than last week.
I like it, though.
Yeah, it is. It looks great. 35.5. I think Greg Dortch cruises
easily.
to 35.5
Easily.
receiving yards. He's the main slot receiver. He's leading the team in receptions and receiving yards. The Rams are not in a great place just health-wise. All they have is Jalen Ramsey. He's not going to have Dortch as an assignment. So I like Greg Dortch today, over 35.5.
That's easy money. That might hit in the first half, and I'm going to stay with the Arizona Cardinals, and it was my prop of the week. I made money on it last week. It's Kyler Murray's over for rushing total, 27.5. Listen, when they beat the LA Rams last year in Los Angeles, Kyler Murray had a field day, as well as the rest of the Cardinal offense, rushing for 250 yards. They need him to be productive with his legs, as we saw last week against the Las Vegas Raiders. They just don't have enough weapons offensively in the passing game to have a robust 400-yard passing game. Kyler Murray has been unleashed once again with his legs. I think what we saw in fourth quarter and overtime is a precursor to basically Kyler Murray saying, I'm going to run for as much as I need to be able to get this team a W. He's got his contract now. 30 yards might hit, gentlemen and ladies, in the first half.
All right. I'm going out east because I think the premier game is the only game of the day that has two undefeated teams facing each other, and the Dolphins and the Bills. The Bills have no secondary right now, as we speak. Everybody's injured. Jordan Poyer's out. Multiple other guys are out. I'm going to take Tua over Josh Allen in the passing yards money line.
Damn.
Because I think Tua is going to light up that Bills secondary and put up far more yards than Josh Allen.
Dude, they have no... I cannot believe how many people are injured on that team. I love that prop. It blows my mind. That secondary is in shambles.
It's at plus 120, by the way.
Well, and then up front, too. They're missing Ed Oliver and, shocker,
Is anybody
Arizona Cardinal, Jordan Phillips is out.
Yes, of course. Mr.
The day that ends in Y. He's
Glass
not
man.
playing football.
My favorite prop of the day is the Lions. It's in the Lions and Vikings game. I think everyone thinks this game's going to be a shootout, but if the Lions win, they're going to control the clock, and they're going to do that with DeAndre Swift. I'm taking his over on rushing yards, 51.5. He burned me last week after rattling off a 54-yard run and then not running the rest of the game. I have confidence that he's going to...
You don't think Jamal Williams is their closer? Not DeAndre Swift?
No.
Swift's got like 10 yards per carry this year.
Yeah, Jamal Williams is their third down and red zone guy.
Gotcha.
He's not their closer.
All right, what's your lock?
My lock of the day, it's the Defen lock. It's the Ravens. Minus 2.5. I took it on the Instagram. You guys saw it. You guys know my reasoning. Belichick, not good against mobile quarterbacks. Everyone says this is a trap. Belichick loves or doesn't lose back-to-back games, not against Lamar. The Ravens secondary, blah, blah, blah. Lamar Jackson is him. Bill Belichick is the offensive coordinator. The Patriots still don't have an OC. It makes no sense. The Ravens are going to roll today.
My lock is kind of a shocker because the Chiefs are good. I have the Colts over.
Dude,
the
it's a
Chiefs
trap
today.
game. It's
It
a
is.
fucking trap
Dude,
game.
the Colts are good. They just have played
Colts
poorly.
money line or Colts
They better just
cover?
run the shit out of the ball, though.
Colts money line.
Wow.
Wow.
I have them beating the Chiefs today, upsetting them at home.
Wow.
That's your lock. I
that's
love
my
it.
lock.
I love it.
Those odds
Big
are
Nuts Bookman.
high on DraftKings.
Plus 185 down.
Damn.
The line's all the way down to 4.5. People know it's a trap. It's a fucking trap.
It is a trap.
The 97% of the money is on the Chiefs. This morning it was. I think it's being swung now. People are like, oh God.
There are desperation games for a lot of coaches this weekend who, if they start 0-3, like, could Frank Wright be fired? Could Matt Rule be fired? Josh McDaniels isn't getting fired, but I do think he wins today somehow, some way, and starts the season 1-2. They should be really maybe 2-0, that being the Las Vegas Raiders. They're going to go to Tennessee today and play a Tennessee team ravaged by injuries. Harold Landry, Taylor Lewan. They have no good players,
The
right?
defense looks terrible.
They traded A.J. Brown. This is a transition year. Mike Vrabel gets a pass. They're going to start Malik Willis at some point, but they don't have the horses to keep up with Derek Carr and company in the first half. I think -2 Las Vegas Raiders, lock of the day.
Yeah.
Book it right now. Like, this Raider team, it's funny, Josh McDaniels is like, we got to learn how to win. Hey, Josh, this team made the playoffs last year without you. Maybe you need to learn how to win. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams was in the NFC Championship game like every flipping year. Hey, figure it out, Josh, because I'm putting money on you today.
Ryan Tannehill, highest cap hit in the NFL this year.
Not
$38
good.
million.
Damn.
$38 million.
Eat some dead money.
I should have gone right after Shane because I think the wrong team was favored in his game. My lock is the Patriots plus 2.5 at home.
No.
Home dogs.
It's over for
that. That defense is ravaged by injury. It sucks. Like, as far as covering anybody, the Ravens can't cover.
Sucks?
It sucks.
All right.
I mean, they did get obliterated in the fourth quarter.
Who's gonna cover?
We'll see what happens in the Dolphins game
checked
today.
out.
We'll see what
checked
happens in the
out.
Dolphins game today.
No, I think that the front seven of the New England Patriots are going to be able to kind of slow down Lamar Jackson.
No.
I like the Patriots as my lock this week. Plus 2.5.
Patriots
Give it
defense
to them.
Harbaugh's always
I think the
had
wrong
it.
team is favored. Belichick home dog. I
don't hate the reasoning.
There's
I don't hate the
20 plus
reasoning.
years of data that proves that
Harbaugh.
this is a good bet.
Always gives
there's
Belichick
20 plus years of
problems.
data that shows Belichick's defenses do not know how to stop running quarterbacks.
How the
So you wanna
Patriots
bring
gonna
20 plus years into
How
that.
the Patriots going to score points? Jacoby Myers is out. That's like their number one receiver.
They've got-
Nelson Aguilar. Fucking garbage offense. They don't have an OC.
Patricia.
But I don't hate the reasoning. I don't hate the reasoning.
All right. What about you? Your drop there, Bo?
Drop. I'm staying away from your lock.
Yeah.
I just don't. I do think trap is probably the right word. I just don't want to. I'm not going to touch that game with a 10-foot pole. Colts and Chiefs. Yeah, dropping that. Not even touching it.
I don't like Dallas and the Giants today. Dable, fraudulent 2-0. I think Brian Dable's a good coach. That team is terrible. Cooper Rush, though, makes me want to throw up in my mouth. I don't think he duplicates the effort he did earlier this week. That game could go completely either way. It's essentially a pick-em. Do what you want to do. Stay away from it,
Luckily,
though.
it's a primetime game tomorrow. So we get to watch that tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my drop. I don't
No,
want
I'm
to
not
touch
saying
it.
I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying luckily we get to see that on prime
Jump
time.
on that number or not right now. Don't touch
So
it.
gross.
My drop is the Bengals at the Jets. I don't know what the hell to make of the Bengals right now. They're kind of in a free fall. They can't put anything together. Joe Burrow is getting sacked like crazy. The Jets, they're the Jets. But hey, Flacco pulled it together last week against the Browns when it looked like it was bleak as hell. And listen, for as many people who want to shit on Joe Flacco is a decent quarterback, and if you give him the right opportunity at the right time, he will burn you.
He's
And
elite.
he has shown that multiple times, especially in the fourth quarter. I think this is a toss-em game, to be honest. I know the Bengals are favored by I think 6.5.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of absurd based on how they've played so far. They couldn't even beat the shitty-ass Cowboys last week.
They're just not very
without
good.
Dak Prescott. Like, come on, bro.
Turnover luck.
I'm not even trying to hear it. So
Well, in week
I'm
one,
not-
they struggled against Pitt.
yeah, they should have won that game multiple
Yeah.
times. But so that's the game I'm staying away from.
Johnny, is Joe Flacco elite?
No, but Joe Burrow deleted his social media this week, so the Bengals are going to ball out. He deleted his Twitter and his Instagram.
I'm staying away from the Packers and Bucks. Julio Jones is a game time decision. Obviously, no Mike Evans because of suspension. And then on the other side of the ball, Sammy Watkins, who played well, is now on the IR. Like it's just
Who could have thought that would ever happen?
So now it's a Randall Cobb v. I don't even know.
Christian
whatever-
Watkins, Saul's boy. Let's see him drop us
Watson.
a few more passes. Watson.
Watkins is good.
Watson. He's not good.
Christian Watson.
Christian Watson, South Dakota State or North Dakota State.
North Dakota
I had
State.
it
Or
right.
Romeo Dobbs.
Romeo Dobbs, big fan.
Listen, it's a bunch of fucking useless wide receivers. On both sides.
Somebody's got to step
Also,
up.
just say
hey, is
that.
Russell Gage gonna play football after getting paid?
Tonight he is. He's going to have his breakout game tonight.
I don't
So
know.
I saw somebody. Cole Beasley might be a buck here pretty soon.
Dude, they signed him to the practice squad.
Yeah.
that
he's
is
gonna-
scary.
He's going to eat pretty
That
soon.
is scary.
Yeah, they found him at a Lowe's.
Yeah, I saw somebody was on the
No, he's a
Rashad
Home Depot guy
Perryman
for sure.
train with that
true.
offense.
What?
Is he on the team?
Rashad Perryman, isn't it? Is he back
Yeah,
with Tampa
Rashad
Bay?
Perriman scored
Yeah.
the touchdown last week.
Yeah.
So
Tampa's-
you say if you're anti-vax, you got to work at Home Depot.
Oh yeah. Have you never seen the meme? The left and the right, Lowe's and Home Depot. It just feels right.
That's funny.
It just feels
Oh
right.
my god! All right, let's wrap this bad boy up with our last segment right here. We just did Tap That App. Now we're doing Flight Risk. Flight Risk. Let's talk about the Cards as they take on the Los Angeles Rams here at State Farm Stadium. We will be live at the headquarters over at the Lola doing a phenomenal tailgate. They're actually partying right now as we speak, so you should head on over right now. But how are we feeling about this, boys?
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to make a prediction right now. If the Arizona Cardinals beat the LA Rams today, they will make the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying if they lose, they won't make the playoffs, but I think the Cardinals are going to win today, and as a result, I think it's going to spring load them into a playoff berth in 2022, whether it be wild card or winning the NFC West. The Rams are plumb for an upset. This line has stayed at 3.5 all week. The Arizona Cardinals have not won a home game since October 24th of last year against the Houston Texans. Please, God,
My
win a
God.
home game. I want to see this team win one for the people of Phoenix. They deserve it. Kyler Murray, like, say what you want, dismantled receiving core. Defense has been mostly down, up and down. Kyler Murray is going to will this team to win today against the LA Rams, who, I mean, they're kind of complacent. They won their Super Bowl. Is this finally, Bo Brock, going to be the year that McVay takes a step back?
I think so, and it's not his fault. I mean, when you mortgage the future, at some point you have to pay that mortgage, and I think that it's finally catching up with them, the fuck them picks mentality. And, you know, when you don't have your quarterback at full strength, who already couldn't kind of, as far as his game goes in Matthew Stafford, he couldn't kind of take any hits, especially his arm strength. He's 5 picks. He's leading the NFL in interceptions once again. So Arizona Cardinals, if they get chances at interceptions, they have to take advantage of them. No interceptions so far through 2 games, just 1 turnover. They got to change that because there's going to be opportunities. And if they can do that, they can end this ugly, not winning at home narrative, and they can end they can't beat Daddy McVay, who's 10-1 against them career.
Matt Stafford has dropped off, much like that photographer.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, he watched her. That's karma for just watching her fall.
Just backing off.
Fuck that guy. Listen, I said it on the pregame show on Friday. I'll say it again. I think this is a breakout game for the Arizona Cardinals. I think from start to finish that they will dominate the LA Rams.
Wow.
And I think they're going to win this game. I said it on Friday,
You did.
34-16. I believe it today. And I have 2 sleeper picks in that game. I think Isaiah Simmons is finally going to show us what he's supposed to be all about.
Yes.
Because he didn't have shit to cover today except for Tyler Higbee, Little Bigby. So I'm going with that, and I think Dortch is going to have a phenomenal day.
Love the confidence. I'm just a little bit
I'm
worried.
hoping I'm not toe-treeing this up.
I'm just a little worried. I mean, I think Stafford is definitely taking a step back, and I think if you can capitalize on the turnovers, you win this game. But the Rams are still the Rams. Jalen Ramsey is still Jalen Ramsey. You can beat him, but you have to protect Kyler Murray, and the other side of the ball, you have to get to Stafford. You need to get pressure on him. And if they can do that, then yeah, I can see them dominating. But if they can't capitalize on turnovers, and if they can't get pressure, and if they continue to let Kyler Murray get out of the pocket because of pressure, they're going to have trouble again. And I just can't see them just dominating from start to finish. But if they do, I agree. They're a playoff team.
When the Arizona Cardinals were rolling last year, it was because they were more physical than the opposing team.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the ability to do so because they were healthy, and they're healthy this week. They're healthier than they've ever been during the 2022 season. And, you know, there's no depth on the defensive line for the Rams. They do still have a game wrecker in Aaron Donald. I think that it's just – I agree with Saul. I think this is like the wrong team favored situation where the Arizona Cardinals, if they don't win this game – I know when you looked at the schedule before the season, you probably chalked it up as an L. It would be disappointing if they actually don't take advantage of this and win this game.
Do you guys remember what you were doing in November of 2014? That was 8 years ago.
I was actually at K-State.
That was the last time the Cardinals have beaten the Rams at home, dating back to their time in St. Louis. Antonio Cromartie had an interception for a touchdown. Patrick Peterson. It's time we break that 8-year losing streak to this franchise. This franchise, to me, that, as Bo mentioned, lacks depth, right? They're too top-heavy. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp. We know the elites, and then there's a significant fall-off. And if you're Cliff Kingsbury, who you're under a microscope this year, people are criticizing your coaching after 2 weeks. They say Kyler Murray saved you in the fourth quarter and overtime last week. You need to put together a game plan, much like you did in week 4 last year when you got the dub in L.A., that exposes McVay's lack of depth, right? You don't want him to come in here and nickel and dime you with Cooper Kupp up and down the field for 10 to 12 play drives. You said this on our Friday show. This cannot be a get-right game for Cam Akers. I don't want to see that. I'm going to throw up in my mouth if I do. The Rams, they're not running on anybody. So if they come into your building with quintessentially, it's the front 7 that you prepared for. We could all bitch and moan because they don't have an elite pass rush, but outside of a couple rotational corners, this is what Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury and Vance Joseph envisioned their defense being, and now you've got ample time following your slow start, the preseason or lack thereof. You got to get after people today, and you got to set the tempo. Give Kyler Murray in this offense short fields for the first time this year, and I bet he cashes in.
Johnny, when you were talking about the Rams elites, I know you didn't mention Cam Akers. You don't think he's elite?
I took him in the 3rd round of our fantasy draft, but Daddy Fantasy here at the PHNX Fantasy Football Draft will get a W today, I guarantee it.
Wait,
I
your
guarantee-
Daddy Fantasy?
Yeah, Daddy Fantasy
Daddy
playing
Fantasy got 10 points from the Browns defense on Thursday Night Football. Daddy Fantasy's favorite to get his first W.
Daddy Fantasy is going to get stomped all over by 2-0 today.
You said today that you thought Daddy Fantasy was going to get that W. Or you not feel that way anymore?
I'm playing you.
Oh, no.
Listen, we will go live right now as we speak. If you're headed to the game, let's pull up our old friend, the Game Time app right now, and see what kind of tickets are available for this game. Rams at Cardinals. You can get it as low as $10 right now. $10. Walking into the stadium, using the Game Time app. The link is in the show notes below.
It's also in the chat.
It's also in the chat right here. Dude, I can't even recall last time I saw an NFL game for $10. Like straight up.
Come out to the Lola, get on the Game Time app, go to the game. What else are you doing on your Sunday? I know you're probably sitting and enjoying at home, but it's way more fun when you're with us.
And the greatest thing is like when you pick where you want to sit, there's a map, like it's an interactive map. You can literally look around from your seat as you turn the screen. It's awesome. Like, use the Game Time app. You can save yourself up to 60% by clicking on this link and this link alone. Please do that. Have fun at the game if you're going. Join us at the Lola if you're going. It's going to be a great time. Come take a shot with us because we will have plenty of shots. We actually have a shot ski that we're all going to do today. So for Bo Brock, for Johnny Venerable, I'm Saul Bookman. This is Shane Diefenbach. We will catch you next week on the PHNX Tailgate. See you later.